Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan-Allen, and this is No More Water. Bye. Next time. I appreciate you tuning in, and on tonight's episode, I have a topic of first you see why they like us now, and the other topic, when haters want to become friends. And what we have to realize is that many of those people who hated us, wanted nothing to do with us, clowned us. Now I'm saying we all need to get along and work together. And they had a long time to work with us. A very long time. And usually when a person who is clowning you and hating you wants to come and be your friend, there's a reason. They have a motive for it. And it's usually a motive that benefits them, not you. The reason I say that is because I was looking the other day at the podcasts and many things that Latinos and people of color and different people put up, not just white people, but every, just about everyone. And they were also derogatory about black people. We've never had any allies, and not just that. This includes the people in the Caribbean, the black people in the Caribbean, the people from Jamaica, the Bahamas, Mexico, Haiti. They've always posted derogatory things about black people, saying we're lazy. Where if we're so lazy and you're not, why come you can't build up your countries? Why come you can't build it up? Let everybody else come in and take your stuff. You see what happens is the Jamaicans said we don't have a country. That's what they always say to us. And black people in the United States. We're now being called the foundation of black people. Oh, am I frozen on YouTube? I got froze on YouTube. Wrong way, I'm just gonna go on. Hold on a second. I got froze on YouTube. I'm looking at this monitor. See what they do is let's see here. I can see myself on Facebook. I'm not frozen, but yeah, I think I got frozen on YouTube. I just put up on there later. But they're now calling us foundational black people. That we was here at the foundation of this nation, and that we helped build the nation. And that's why so to say this, so when the Jamaicans said we don't have a country, I said we do. It's called the United States of America. Because if we were here to help in the building of this nation, how can you say it's not anymore our nation, but to say it's the white people's nation when we did the same thing that they did? They may have been in control of the government, but we helped in the building and foundation. We was here before it was a nation. You and the other people from around the world, including the European immigrants who came in after the foundation of the nation, you all just came to enjoy the fat of the land, something that was already built. The Africans, they clowns us. Come on, you let people come in and take all your stuff. You even let them come in and take us. They come in and take all your stuff. Their nations get rich, modern infrastructure, and you pooping in a hole, some of it. Not all. You got some modern cities, but you got some out there in the bushes. You got some people living pretty bad, like they did 200-300 years ago. Mostly because they won't let go of those old cultures that's holding them back. You always speak of your ancestors. What has your ancestors done for you? Your ancestors, the one you're in, the reason you're in the shape you're in now. And let someone come in and just take all of your stuff, then throw you some crumbs. Their cities are rich and built up, and yours are not. And once you leave from the big cities in Africa, it's not very pleasant. I was thinking about going there at one time, but I thought about it. Okay, it would probably be okay if just a few black people go. When black people start coming in numbers, maybe getting better jobs, they're gonna get upset. And that's when we don't have nowhere to run. At least here we know we got somewhere to run. We don't have nowhere here we can run. And at least we don't have anywhere there we can run. Yeah, but so don't try to clown us when you can't even get your own stuff together. Because if your nation was so great, why would you be here? Why come here? So I lived in Los Angeles for a very long time, and I came back here because I wanted to get into television, and it was so saturated back here. And I saw an opportunity to get in on ground level here. But getting back to what I was saying, I lived around Latinos. I lived around just Armenians, just about every race that you can think of. One thing about the white immigrants, the Armenians and all of them, they will talk to you. The Africans and the other immigrants, they don't even want to talk to you. From Belize and Mexico, look black, they're black people, look like you and me. But they didn't want anything to do with us because see, they go by ethnicity and nationality and not by race. See, all we know is race because we don't know our nationality or what ethnicity that we come from. So we have to go by race. But see, they wanted nothing to do with us. Just the Africans you see sometimes in the store. Do you see them trying to have anything to do with black people? But let them get in trouble. Everyone comes to us when they get in trouble, even white people. I'm gonna prove it a little later. We're nothing until people get in trouble. Then they want to come to us. Tomorrow, help. You need to help us out. Of the Latinos say the same one who what's his name, Rollo or something, used to clown. Last year you heard him on his podcast. He clowned black people. He's tried to because see, in order to clown me, what you say you got to be true. What he was saying wasn't true, just lies. He was trying to be funny, but now the joke's on them. Now they come and help us because it's us now, but you're next. Next? They've been on you for 5 months. They've been on us for 500 years. And you gonna come to us crying when we didn't come to you crying? No, you are the next. And back in when I was in California, you know what a lot of black people out in Los Angeles used to tell those Mexicans when they wanted to get smart with it, they just wait. Y'all don't realize, but pretty soon y'all gonna be the new N words. Hasn't that come true? And this was like in the late '80s. Did you tell them, say, you all keep it up, you're gonna be the new N words. They own a job, they want to talk against black women, and the thing about it, then a lot of black women turn around and want to go with them, talking about how cute and fine they are. Don't know the man be clowning them, but when I defend the black woman's honor, I tell you why. When they do that, they're not just attacking her, they're attacking the race. And I'm defending the race. I don't care what she do. I'm defending the race. See, that's what people have to understand. Many times we say black people use the N-word and all this, but those people are not trying to destroy the race. Somebody got, see, just like in a family, you get into it in a family, maybe call each other names, but no one else is gonna do it. You're not gonna let anyone else do it. And then black people, we don't have to be perfect, and we deserve everything we get. No one else is perfect. Why we gotta cross every T and dot every I? Because I hear a lot of black people clowning us themselves talking about what black people do wrong. Who don't do some things wrong? But as a people, not individual, but as a people, black people are some of the best. I'm not talking about around the globe because some people, I'm not thinking about them. I'm talking about right here because we're so far removed from that. Black Americans are some of the most compassionate, caring people as a people. I'm not talking about individuals. Who have we ever harmed as a people? We've gotten rights for everyone, not just for ourselves, as a people. Everyone came in on civil rights, the Bill of Rights. Did they ever thank us? No, they just come here and clown us. But now you got to fight for yourself. And if some black people want to get out there with you, you know, we can't tell them not to. They have to do what they feel they must do. But when they end up and down in El Salvador or in a alligator, what's that? Alligator Alcatraz or El Salvador, don't come crying to the rest of us. Somebody help you to get out. Let those people you was out there with get you out. Because we have to plot us some strategies. You know, black people, we trying to plot us some strategies because we just can't sit here and do nothing because we got a little bit of a reprieve because you have to realize they've been on us. Really more than them. They're doing it to them physically. I tell you how they've been on us. If you notice, everything that they've paused has been stuff to try to hurt us. They're trying to eliminate us in the school book, but that shouldn't matter. We got black school districts. We can teach our kids what we want to teach them. Who cares if they teach them or not? You here in Missouri, they got towns that they want to make all white towns. You see black people not saying that. We don't care. More than likely, that was the time we would have came to anyway. They expect us to just moan and holler and cry like we used to. But we've grown. They haven't. They're still racial infants. When it comes to race, they're still infants. They haven't evolved. We've grown. We have to teach everybody else about race. We have to teach all the other races how to be decent. No one has to pass legislation to make us treat people right. It takes a pitiful. You say you superior. How are you superior when someone has to pass a Bill of Rights? Got to have to legislate your morality. Shouldn't instead of talking about affirmative action, why not look at the reason why it had to happen in the first place? We wasn't getting nothing out of that anyway. White women was getting most of it. It was white women, people of color, black people, all of them thrown in one. That's 17%. And black people would really wasn't getting anything. That's why when you eliminate it, it's like you know, see, it didn't phase us. It phased white women. Now, after that 17% and everybody thrown together, who's not a minority? The white male. How much was he getting? 83%. But you're so busy. See, they put a black face on affirmative action so they could run away with the bank. And you never noticed. And then he was putting business in his wife and daughter's name to get part of that 17%. If you put a black face on it, you can pick their pockets. President Lyndon Johnson told you that. All you have to do is put a black face on it. White people will vote against their interests. Not just white people, everyone will. Did you know that the Africans and the Latinos said that they thought when they were talking about thugs, sending the thugs and immigrants back, they were talking about us? Now can't you see why white men take their stuff if they're that dumb? I need to go over there. Maybe I can get me a gold mine. If they're that dumb. But you see, none of that stuff they're doing is hurting us. They see people like Trump and all them, they started to touch, they thought we was benefiting from all of that. They thought that when they stopped DEI and affirmative action, black people was just going to start losing their jobs and running to do that farm work. But you heard Trump say they're taking the jobs from the blacks. What jobs they taking from us? We don't do them jobs they do. That's why you have to have them come here and do it. And see if white folks wasn't so lazy, they go out there and do it. That's why other people. That's why we had to come and pick cotton. You all too lazy to do it. You didn't start doing your own building until you start making machinery to do it, to haul stuff. Before then, you had to have black people to haul it, build a White House. It's like the slave plantation that burnt down. Excuse me. Remember they said it was built by slaves? But you know what the Latinos said? Black people didn't build nothing. All they did was pick cotton. So you see how dumb they are? That's why they want to stop that woke thing. Who was that? Let's stop and think for a minute. Would you want someone to come and tell you, don't be woke, don't learn, be dumb, don't be woke? See how stupid that sounds? But since it's against black people, it makes sense to them. I know the average black person listening to me know what I'm talking about. Somebody gonna come to you and tell you, don't be woke. That means don't learn about stuff. But it makes perfectly good sense to them because it's against us. But we can teach what we want to teach. We don't have to let them stop us. We got black school districts. We got black teachers. And most of them are going to keep teaching it. The white ones too, most of them. That's just a policy the government is doing, but you can teach what you want to teach in your district. Because many of the white people have started teaching. That's why, see, the woke thing is aimed at white people because many of them were waking up and started helping black people. When they started learning about what was going on, they started helping black people. Matter of fact, we have more white allies than we do immigrant or people of color allies. We have more white allies helping us against their own. The Africans never even came to none of the marches. They don't care. They want to benefit from us. See, these people want our bodies out there. But when the time for benefits come, they don't want us there. They don't want us at the table. Well, you better get your own bodies out there. And if you don't get these other people out there to help you, go ahead. I could say about me being in media, I've live streamed through those No Kings rally, and I'm in media. I have to do those things, and I saw very few when I was over in St. Louis, Missouri, during the No Kings rally. I did see a few black people, maybe 20, but out of 10,000 people, that's not that much. You can always see some, but you know what they made sure they do? Put the black people in the front with a sign at and give them the bull horns. Stop letting them use you like that. Because you know who they gonna come after first? The people up front and the people on the bull horns. Don't let them use you like that. But we just don't. We have to, they may try something else after us, but we'll just deal with it. We always have. And like I told you on my other short video, we built for this. We've had 500 years of it. And whatever they bring, we'll be ready for it. But that's not, what more can they do except to try to come after us physically, and we just have to deal with that. But this is 2025, not 1925, and they know it. Do you know there's some South Africans, they want to go to war with us, with black people? The black people in this country, they won't come to our business. I tell them, that's a lie. Because black people always talk about going to black businesses. We're tired of going to just these Arab businesses and Koreans. But if they didn't come, we'll check your product out and see if that's the reason why they weren't coming. But look, you talk about go to war with us, and some South Africans said it. You can look it up. Okay, the white folks came to your country. everything you got, made you servants in your own land, took all your riches. They were one-eighth of the population. 60,000, 63 million people. They were one-eighth of the population. Controlled all the wealth. Food fed you scraps from the table. Killed your people whenever they got ready. And you didn't go to war with them. You talking about going to war with us? When we haven't done anything to you but try to befriend you. Well, you've been the problem. We take up for the Africans when people talk about you. A lot of our people wear your garments, the same old garments you've been wearing for 300 years. Come on, evolve. Get some new prints. Get some new styles. I don't know, same old stuff you've been wearing 400 years. But look, we've always defended you, but you never defended us. You talk all there, oh, come back home, peace and love talk, but you never really expounded on it because whenever you needed some expertise help, you knew there was black people here in the United States who was experts at those things. I got these fruit flies that comes out whenever I turn these lights on. I mean, in all day long, don't see one until I turn these lights on. But look, what was that? What was I at? I lost my train of thought fooling with these flies. But look, they came into the country, took everything they have, but yet they want to go to war with us. And you know what? And you know what? Even now, they're still one-eighth of the population. They have their own little towns, and they still control 96% of the wealth. The white people, one-eighth of the population, but yet still control 96% of South Africans' wealth. 75% of the farmland, I'm talking about they're being persecuted. But then the South Africans talking about going to war with us, even during apartheid. Look at the way black people over here helped fight against apartheid, Jesse Jackson and all of them. Yet I haven't heard a South African say anything about the civil rights movement. And then during apartheid, you talk about killing the black collaborators. They had this thing they called the necklace. They would get a tie, trying to shoot these flies away. They have they have what they call a necklace, and it was a tire, a car tire. They put gasoline in it and light it and put it around the people's neck. The people who they say were collaborators with the apartheid system. But you know the thing about that situation though, not one white person got a necklace. It was all black people. They were collaborators. We be so busy going after collaborators, we don't never go after the people that they're collaborating with because we're just scared of them. That's why. All those people you killed, you didn't kill one white person. And Nelson Mandela shows you how smart you all are over there. Everyone said he was how great he was. To me, he was one of the biggest idiots I ever seen. And I'll tell you why. He spent 27 years in prison because they said they'll let him out. He could have got out, we wouldn't even spent a year if he denounced violence as a way to end apartheid. So he's not going to do it. After 27 years, he decided I'm going to denounce violence as a way to end apartheid. Come on, couldn't you done that in year one, got out of jail, just did what you was going to do anyway? What kind of sense does that make? If they tell me we're gonna give you 27 years, but you gotta you gotta snitch on him. I'm just gonna tell you, they're gonna label me a snitch. I'm gonna do it in year one. I'm not gonna go do that 27 years, be that 27 years. Yeah, he did it. I'm gonna do it in day one. So don't get with me doing something. I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail for nobody. I only want to go for myself. I need me being in jail and the other person free. Y'all can talk that no snitch or y'all do it too. I got a lot of policemen friends. They tell me, say them guys, that's how they get most of them. Them guys, they say you gonna get 20 years. Yeah, he did it. I tell you, and I gotta make up some. I'm not. I'm self-preservation is the first law of nature. Now y'all can look at me in funny if you want to. You do it too. You know you're not going to jail for no 20, 30 years for somebody else, and you can get out. If you do, you just as big a fool as Nelson Mandela. I'm getting out if I got to make up some. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I look out for myself first. But look, um, so that the reason I say that is because all of these different people, they speak against black people, but they come over here to try to get in with white people, and the white people don't like them. You work with Africa. Oh, your people just lazy. We help build roads. Why don't you go help build some in your country? If we that lazy, why you see us out working every day, working on our houses? You know what the farmers said? They thought that if the immigrants got deported, that the black people would come work their farms because we don't have jobs. They see black people going to work. I'm just showing you how stupid these people are. When it comes, that's why I say when it comes to raise the infants, they may be smart at others, but when it comes to race, they're the biggest idiots I ever seen. They need to grow up, stop being infants, evolve. They haven't evolved. Have you noticed that white people haven't evolved? Most of them, some have. That's why they start the woke program for the ones, anti-woke program for the ones who have. But most of them, they still like infants when it comes to race. They don't see these black people at work, on their way to work, nice houses, nice car. I guess they figure they drug dealers because that's just how they are. How still infants. They don't see all that and know that black people have jobs. But that's the way they think. They thought we were gonna come pick some fruit, sat there in that hot sun, and they wanted their slaves back, and they didn't get them. That stuff can rot, and if we have to, so we're not gonna have any fruit. Well, buy some dirt, make some. Now, don't do it in the ground. It's ground contaminated. Start your own garden. You know, still not too late. You could do your indoor garden, get you some lights. The lights you used to use to grow your weed with, you can use those lights to grow you some fruits and not fruit, but grow you some vegetables and stuff. Because I'm not picking nothing. And anyone else want to go do it, they can do it. That's why they got the Job Corps. They thought those kids was going to go out there and pick. A lot of those kids in Job Corps, black kids. You think you gonna get them out there? Come on, y'all black folks out there looking at me. Y'all think some black kids gonna go out there in that hot sun, 10, 12 hours a day, pick your fruit for that little bit of money? They won't get paid. I tried to start a thing at the high school. The kids help out, teach them video production. They want to get paid for the schoolwork. And I don't know, you're not getting paid. I can't blame them for wanting to get paid though. 'Cause if they come to me film a game or something, I pay them. The high school game, I pay them for that because I'm making money. And I believe if you with me and you helping me and I make money, you supposed to make some too. I don't operate like that. I, I get all the money and you get nothing. And one thing I see about the brothers out there in LA, that's where I learned that from. They do believe in spreading the money around. Of course, the person at the top gonna get more, but they're not gonna have you come out there and work for them and do things for them, and you don't make some money. And that's one thing I have to give the brothers out there. I don't know about now, but when I was there, They believed in doing that. Spreading the money, make sure everybody eats, not just themselves. So I have to commend them for that. Like I say, it's been about 20 years, they could have changed, but that's the way it was then. That's all I can go by, what I actually experienced. So I'm gonna leave what they might be alone. I have to go by what I've actually experienced. The brothers out there was good about helping each other make money. I have to say that. Now, like I say, they counseled everything they thought would hurt us. And by the way, the courts have ruled that they have to reinstate Job Corps. If they do it or not, I don't know, because he did this regime just do what they want to. The courts, we have no court. The courts don't matter to them. We don't have a constitution anymore. They tell them a lot of things what not to do, and they still do it anyway, or don't do it. So but yeah, then getting back to our so-called allies. You see, the people of color, the Indians. I know, I have friends that lived in India, black people who's from here, who had moved to India. And India has a very large black population. You never see them though, do you? You know why? They are treated horrible over there. Very horrible. Now I'm hearing black people in Russia being treated horrible. Black people treated horrible all over the world in their own land. They were doing it to us here, but we fought. We're the only black people on earth who fought back. And it wasn't always with guns, but we did fight back for our rights. In Africa, they didn't fight back for their own rights. Only a few, like in Kenya. But they had no business having those people coming in the first place. But I'm going to go back to Africa in a minute and show you how really white man kind of got in there. And see, we fought. These other immigrants come over here, just took it. The Mexicans and the Cubans and all. And most of Cuba is black. People don't know that. But what type do you see here, though? Do you see those black Cubans? You rarely see a black Cuban in the United States. The Haitians want to talk crap about us. The poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. We're lazy. You won't even pick up trash off your streets. Build up your country instead of coming worried about here talking about who's lazy. It's not their fault that they're the poorest country. The United States and France kept them out of the world market because they wouldn't allow themselves to be conquered. Haiti is one nation that no one could conquer. Napoleon got his butt whooped in Haiti. The French, Haiti whooped their butt. So the United States and France locked them out of the world market unless they paid reparations to France for the stuff that France didn't let them steal. And it took them over 100 years to pay it back. Not pay it back because it wasn't France's to get. The United States have done some dirty deeds around this world. And it's all because of white. They're trying to further white supremacy. We're going to get to that in a minute. But look, the Haitians want to speak against us. Do you remember? At first, they couldn't even come here. It's because of black folks in this country that they could come here. Because remember, they was locking the Haitians out. Reagan and the Bushes, Reagan and George Bush's dad, Herbert Walker Bush. First it was Reagan, then Herbert Walker Bush, the Bush daddy. They wouldn't let the Haitians in. They were turning the boats around. A lot of people drowned at sea because the boats weren't seaworthy. And Bill Clinton, when he was running for president, Jesse Jackson, Bill Clinton was losing in the primaries. So what's his name? It wasn't Huckabee. It was against with a nature. The guy he was running against, Bill Clinton, wasn't doing very well in the primary. So Jesse Jackson went to Bill Clinton and told him, said, look, if you agree that if you become president, you will allow the Haitians in, I'll back you. And Bill Clinton agreed, and the rest is history. That's how the Haitians was able to come in. Jesse Jackson helped to get Bill Clinton elected. Because see, let's face it, I'm gonna say something in a minute. I know the women gonna get angry, but it's the truth. And I don't care about people getting angry at the truth. But but look, so that's how the Haitians got it, was able to come in. Remember when Jesse Jackson went down to the border and protested on behalf of the Mexicans? When have they ever done anything for us? I wouldn't have went. That's their problem. As a matter of fact, I don't even protest for black people. I don't protest for nobody, and I'll tell you why. I don't see nothing wrong with it if that's what you want to do. I don't believe in peaceful protests. The two words don't even belong together. Protest is supposed to disrupt. So I just leave it alone. There's not enough people like me. I'm not getting out in those streets sicking dogs on me. I'm gonna be doing the sicking. Whatever happened just happened. We gotta stop being scared. Cause they may come after us physical niggas, and we're gonna have to deal with that. Just like we dealt with everything else. So, get your CCW before they outlaw that. I recommend we all do it. On my next broadcast, I'm gonna give you have a number. It's called 88. For $800, you get your concealed carry. You have your classes. You get your weapon. You go to the firing range, and you certified all within 8 hours. 88. And I think that's a good deal. We want to be legal as much as we can. But, it's the old saying go, I'd rather be tried by 12 and carried by 6. But let's try to do it the right way. Be legal if you can. If you can. Because we cannot let people come in our neighborhoods, harming our people. No one has no business. There's no immigrants here. That's why I'm so happy. All these immigrants didn't want to was arrogant with us and didn't want to come in our neighborhood. At first, they think they too good for us. Now we was too good for them. I'm glad they didn't come. So now ICE has no business coming up in here. So if you see somebody come up in these all black towns, unmarked van, mask on, deal with them. You know how Pookie and Ray, how y'all deal with each other and how we get mad and we take care of each other, you're going to deal with them. You know the history of white men in masks coming up in black areas. That ain't happening in 2025. You burnt down Black Wall Street in 1921. You're not doing that in 2025. That wouldn't have happened in 2021. We're not those same people. You all still thinking the same way, but we're not those same people. You are, we're not. And you think a mask or somebody, you bring that mess up in here. I'm gonna tell you, do not let these people pull any of our folks into any vans. You are. They ain't pulling me nowhere. I can know they ICE. Because they're not supposed to bother American citizens. Or United States citizens. I don't like saying American because Mexico is American. Canada is American. Argentina is America. They're Americans. The people in the United States don't have the sole rights to being Americans. That's why I just say United States. But look, they have no business pulling no one here in the van. Go to Fremont City. Unless they go one of these Arab stores, these go nail shops, they may go up in there and pull somebody out. Outside of that, now you're not taking nobody up. I ain't gonna watch them taking on our folks. Maybe my last day on the planet, but it's just going to be the last. I'm gonna make sure some of theirs last too. You're not taking none of our folks up out of here in no van, one mark van, talking about pulling them away. Especially none of these children and women. Brothers, don't y'all let them grab these women, black women, talking about taking them somewhere. You don't know where they taking them women or what they gonna do to them. And don't let them take no brothers either. I don't care if it's a guy I hate, don't like, don't want nothing to do with. In that instance, I'm gonna have something to do with him because they ain't taking him nowhere. We gotta put in situations like that, we gotta put our beefs aside. I don't care if I don't like you. They ain't taking you nowhere. Man, you could just be arguing, getting ready to get a knockdown drag out. Let them pull up and try to drag you in that van. Forget that knockdown drag out. We're gonna knock down and drag them out. They did it in Lincoln Heights, Ohio. Neo-Nazis gonna go up in there passing out literature over. Why you come in the black area? Why they and the police allow them to do it? I mean, it's their constitutional right. Those black folks didn't put up with it. Now they're walking around there with body armor on, taking their kids to school, and women and men. And got a mask on. They came and asked black woman, well, why you wearing that mask? She tried to explain it to him. I mentioned this once before, but we got to know when to explain things and when not to. See, I see them when they have black people on these shows like Fox and different big. Now, I don't watch Fox. I watch podcasts and they show clippings of Fox on that. I couldn't stomach watching that mess. They'll show some clippings of some people, that's part of the program that they're talking about on Fox, and that's the only way I see it. But let's go. And they ask them those baby questions. But when it comes to the black people, they want to ask us questions like, we're the ones, we're the cause of racism and all, and discrimination. That's the black woman. Why you wearing that mask? She tried to explain it to him. And see, when you have those groups like that, you're supposed to have a spokesman, have meetings, have a spokesperson. Refer them to the spokesperson because everyone can't speak for your group. Everyone don't know how to. And she tried to explain it to him. I was thinking, see, that had been me. I told him, why are you asking me something like that? Did you ask the Ku Klux Klan why they have masks on? Do you ask the Proud Boys, neo-Nazis, or ICE why they got masks on? Or why are you asking me something like that? Ask them why they got them on. See, that's the way you got to talk to them. The reason I say that, I saw the clip that I saw, I think it was Stephen King and Stephen Smith. He was on Fox. And they were talking about affirmative action and DEI. But see, got to know how to talk to them folks, and you ain't got to answer all that mess they ask you. Then you got to know how to answer people. Sometimes answer without answering. See, I tell you why. Okay, he was asking them, why would you ask a black person about DEI and affirmative action? Don't ask white people. But why they had to? We didn't form or start affirmative action. They don't get white people on there and ask them, why are we so pitiful that we got to have affirmative action? We're so discriminatory that we have to have affirmative action or DEI. They make it seem, good black people on there make it seem like it's our problem instead of theirs. Like racism is our problem instead of theirs. What happens is, you ask black people, when are we going to end this? Like programs like DEI or affirmative action. I gave this analogy before, you may have heard, but I'm going to tell it again since I'm on. That's just like somebody standing over you, stabbing you. Blood coming out. They throw you this towel, this affirmative action towel. You wipe a little blood off. They still stabbing you. They throw you this DEI towel. You wipe a little blood off, but they still stabbing you. Then look at you and say, now when are we going to stop this? Now, when are you going to stop it? You started it. You the one inflicting all the pain. You're the reason I had to have the child in the first place. And you ask me when we going to stop this, like when I'm going to stop wiping the blood, stop stabbing me. Then we can talk about it. And see, the reason I say I'm not for peaceful protests, I don't believe in someone doing violence to me, and I have to answer with peace. Let me get my licks back. See, you come up and hit me. If I come up and hit you upside the head, keep hitting you upside the head, then you get really hit back. Say, now you got to do it peacefully. Let's talk about it. It's got to be peaceful. You're going to want to get yours in first. Then maybe we can talk about some reconciliation. But why should you be standing there with your nose bloody, lip busted, and I'm standing there and Christine, nothing's wrong with me, and we're going to negotiate? No. Maybe we can negotiate better if both of our eyes is black. Both of us had teeth missing. So don't let people get you caught up in these little questions about you answering questions that they should be asking white people. And see, I know I was talking about the immigrants, but let me tell you how. I was talking to a white guy, and this go towards Africa. He was talking about, yes, see, white people, just in a little time, we took over the world. I said, and you boasting on that? See, really, the white man never was nothing until about the 15th century. But what happened was, there was always wars and people fighting, because it used to be the number one cause of death for men was war. But you know what their wars was over? They were most regional, and they was over nationalities and ethnicity. Maybe somebody had some, the other one they wouldn't share. But in those ethnicities and nationality, you had all races. It just wasn't this race fighting against that race. The white man brought something new. Even to slavery, he brought something new. Racism. He was the first person to start doing things and hurting people out of race. Other people did it out of nationality and ethnicity, which they had many people of all races. Just like they say, they talk about Israel. That thing over there, that's not the real Israel, I don't believe. If those are God chosen people, I don't know what God that is. But Abraham, he was from a land that's now Iraq. Abraham was from Iraq. Some people said Iran, but Abraham was born right outside of Baghdad. King Solomon was Ethiopian. So they didn't do things out of race. The white man introduced race into harming people. The Caucasian introduced that. So that's why when he came into Africa and different places, they welcomed him in, because people did that. They welcomed strangers. They welcomed them in. But they didn't know how diabolical they were. But once you saw they was taking your stuff, you shouldn't have just sat there and watched them take it. You come to my house, I can welcome you in my house. May not know how diabolical you are, but once my stuff is coming up missing, and I find out you up to something, you getting up out of there. I'm not gonna wait till you clean me out. You getting up out of there. Then I'm gonna be stuck in one room and you run the whole house. I gotta have your permission to come out of the room in my own house. Got me down in the basement. You up in my house living good. That's what they did to the Africans. No. I see you up to no good and you in my house. You getting out before you do irreparable damage. You ain't gonna do no damage as soon as I find out. But see, they let him stay there, and he's still getting most of the wealth out of Africa. They're beginning to change it. See, the Caucasian race is in the decline. Their rule of the earth is coming to an end, and they see it. You can tell the United States is an empire in decline. See, anytime an empire starts declining, you know the first thing they do, like the Europeans did, they go and try to take others' land, Greenland, Canada, that ring a bell. Don't Trump want those? They want other people not try to get other people's natural resources. See, they try to expand, but they know they're in decline. They want other people's natural resources. Now they want Ukrainian natural resources. They want it from Gaza. Trump talking about taking over Gaza, which that's not going to happen. That an empire in decline does that, but it might prolong them for a little while. But the United States is in trouble. It's been in decline for quite a while, really, because the foundation that the United States is on can't stand. Well, it just can't. It's founded on a weak foundation, racism and capitalism, and well, few benefit and the others get crumbs. So they let white folks get a little more crumbs than black people because it satisfies them. As long as they have somebody to look down on, they feel okay. Lyndon Johnson said, if you can make the lowest white man think he's better than the best black man. We said person. You can pick their pockets and they'll never know it. If you get him someone to look down on, he'll empty his pockets out for you. He emptied his own pockets out. What did they do in this election? Gave Trump everything he wanted because they want to hurt somebody else. Even the Latinos did it. The Cubans want to hurt the Haitians. I thought he was going to get rid of the thugs and the gangs. You believe that against your own people? They say that about us. Get off the subject a minute. Let's talk about us. They said we commit the most crime. Look at the FBI statistics. You have to look at things like that. And they're very, very accurate. It never says black people commit more crime. Don't believe that mess. You know what it says? You know how crime is compiled by the FBI? It should be one come out this year. I think it come out every 5 years. The crime is compiled. Crime statistic is compiled by arrest. How many people are arrested? Black people are arrested more. And you know what else it says? When you read first, you can look this up yourself. It's anything like this, you can look up yourself. It also says most black people who are arrested get exonerated. Really, just let out. How many times you seen black people get arrested when a white person doing something, and you hear black people saying, boy, if he was black, they'd be taking him to jail. I used to work with white guys. The stuff they said they did, I wonder why these. One that said, well, I wonder why these MFs not in prison. All that. I thought they was lying. But I found out all that stuff they said was true. When the world they not in? Why in the world they not in prison? After all the things that they've done. They talk about it says that black people are the most arrested and the most exonerated. How many people, black folks you know, get arrested and you think, oh, they gone. Next thing you know, you see them walking down the street. They'll arrest the black person, get them down there and question them when the black person tell them the same thing that they was trying to sell them out on the street. They wouldn't even have to get arrested. They do it to pad the arrest rate. They say they don't have quotas, but they do. See, anytime they arrest a black person, that goes down as a crime. The black person may be out within an hour, but it still went down as a crime. You know it's in the paper when you read where they arrested a white person in an affluent white neighborhood or in a white neighborhood. Then they'll say that person was responsible for numerous break-ins and robberies. But they wait till they catch him and let the white oh, you safe, your property value safe. But when it's in a black area, if you break in on Monday, it's in the paper on Tuesday. Every time that person break in, could be that same person, but each time they break in is in the paper separately, where it look like it's just break-ins and robberies happening every day. And then when they catch that person, then they say he was responsible for numerous ones, but they didn't put his crimes in the paper every day like they did the white person. So it make the white neighborhood look safer and the black, not because I've lived around black people all my life and I never had to worry about crime. There's gonna be some crime who everywhere, not just among us. We're not perfect people. We do we live just like everybody else live. Don't let people fool you and thinking we something less. If we was something less, they wouldn't have their attention on us like they do. If we was something less, why try to hold back our economic progress every time we start progressing? Because you know why? After we was out of slavery, they still want to do that same work we was doing when we was in slavery, but they give us a little bit of money. So that what Trump was trying to take us back to. That slave work. But back to the white men, see they did things out of race. And they were the first people on earth to do that. They've killed more people on this planet than all of the other races combined. Just within the last 200 years. Throughout the history of the world, they've killed more people than all the other races combined. But we're the inferior ones. They have to have their morality legislated and made into Bill of Rights now. You don't have to do that to us for us to treat folks right. We do some things to each other individually, but as a people, we some of the best people. We don't harm anyone. Matter of fact, we like everybody. The problem is they don't like us. And we have to cut that out. Don't like me, I don't like you. And look out for ourselves. And stop looking out for everyone else. They never during the civil rights movement, who looked out for us? We did. That was black folks being bitten by dogs and bitten by dogs and having water holes turned on them. And you know what? The other people they marching now, we appreciate it. Yeah, but we see they're marching for stuff like protests for stuff like police brutality, but that can happen to anyone. But back then the civil rights movement we was protesting. I say we because I'm black and my ancestors and yours. You know what I'm talking about. We were protesting for life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, basic rights. What was everybody at then? Yeah, you ain't on the Black Lives Matter, whose streets, our streets, what does democracy look like? We didn't have time for them chats. When a dog looking at your heels, them teeth biting on your butt, you don't have time for all them old chats. And the fire department blasting you with a big water hose. Police come at you with batons and they telling you to be peaceful. Oh, I couldn't do that. I'd have messed Martin Luther King stuff up. I'd have to meet some blast. I'm probably not say that they may sanction me for that. But no, I think I had to mess Martin Luther King thing up. I couldn't go for that. But but I'm saying that now because I'm in this era. I probably been thinking different in that era. It's easy for us to talk about what these people should have done during slavery, what those people should have done, and that person should have. We weren't in that era. Our thinking is different from theirs. They had an entirely different ideology. So no need of us, trying to condemn those people because they had to think according to the way that, their era that they were in. But when I say that now, I'm thinking of a man who in 2025 been through and seen what has happened, but they hadn't been through and seen what I've seen and been through, during, the civil rights movement. But see, it's easy for people to want to come out now, and holler Black Lives Matter and all that, carry signs and slogans like they're having a big parade. But those people in the civil rights movement, they weren't playing. They went through a lot, and no one was out there with them. Sure wasn't no Hispanics out there. They was busy being white women's Latin lover when Emmett Till was getting killed for what they say he whistled at a white woman. Yeah, Lucy and Ricky Ricardo married and on the screen. You think a black man could have done that? See, you were honorary whites. They're angry at you now because you fooled them. You always voted Republican, but you voted for Barack Obama. You've been voting Republican since then, but they're angry with you. They're trying to stop the browning of the United States. That's why they're not putting out, that's why they're letting in white people and not putting out white immigrants. They're not putting them out because they want white people to stay. They don't want us here, but there's nothing really they can do about it. They want you to get out that clown so you can start deporting some of them. Now, I know it's a lot of people on YouTube and different places telling you to help out, but I'm not going to tell you that. And it's like you're not listening to them. Because I see these videos and I, I, I don't see how people out there with them folks. I don't blame you. Don't get out there getting yourself hurt and killed for somebody else's cause. You got to deal with our causes. Because they didn't deal with our causes. And if something going to happen to our people, I want it to be helping our people, not helping someone else's people. That's what we need to do, help our people. And no one else is going to. And because right now they're getting ready for the midterms of Republicans. They're trying to gerrymander different districts and redraw districts. And see, getting back to the voting, see, I have to say this because the black voting bloc has been fractured. It's been fractured. And I'll tell you one of the causes of it. Men built this black democratic machine that black people have. Jesse Jackson, Andrew Young, Roy Ennis, people like them, Adam Clayton Powell. They built it. See, when men was with women are just about running it now. Then they turn it apart. I know the women gonna get angry, but listen to me. I'm talking facts. I know you might not like to see because you don't like something don't mean it's not right. Get out of your feelings and listen. There's a lot of stuff I don't like, but I know it's right, even though I don't like it. When men was getting more out, getting the vote out, did it on the street level, the precinct level, put boots on the ground, not try to run it through social media. Had those precinct committeemen out there, taking people to the poll. Remember the souls to the polls? Getting them in their cars, saying, getting that vote out. Black men, we've been some weasels. We let the women take over everything. And they turn it into almost a sister girl movement. They don't even mention black men. Right now, when I can bring I'm gonna start bringing the panel back in. I can talk, if a black man talk, he talk about black people. When a black woman talk, she talk about black women. If she do talk about black people, she gonna say black women and black men. Why not say black people? Isn't that black people? Vivica Fox said when you say black people, you're not talking about black women. Like the rest of you then caught on to that also. And if you want to fracture from us, go ahead, but we'll move on without you. But you're not gonna make it without us. I've seen the work you've done. When you do stuff, you do it for yourself. Black men do stuff for the people. Women aren't builders. Men are builders. The men set up voting organization. What voting organization has women set up? None. You are with Kamala Harris. You treated like she was running for the president of the Deltas, black sororities, some sister girl movement. These other people not gonna go for that in national politics or any politics. You don't bring up your gender and race. You leave that out. You try to keep from that even coming up. You see, Hillary Clinton didn't do it. She actually won by 3 million votes. She has lost in electoral votes, which if her election was going to be contested, that should have been the one. But you cannot. You did it with Stacey Abrams, very good candidate. So was Kamala Harris. I vote. I voted for. I voted for Obama, Biden, Hillary, and Kamala. Back when Biden ran in 2020, and Kamala was she was in the debate, she was in the primaries. I said then, she's the one they need to put on the ticket, and I'm just not saying it because of now. I said that, baby. People know me with change. Say she's. I said she's the one who needs to be on the ticket running for president. Kamala actually had a better resume when she first ran than Obama had when he first ran. Obama was a Illinois state senator a couple times, then he ran for state senator. He didn't even finish his term as senator, his first term. He ran for president, became president. So he went from state senator to 1 year as a senator and became president. Kamala Harris. She was the prosecutor in California. She was a senator for a few terms, and she was vice president of the United States. That's an impressive resume. And when Obama ran his second time, of course he's had a more impressive one because he had been president. But I'm talking about the first term. Kamala Harris actually had a better resume. So it wasn't because she was a woman. The problem was the black women coming up telling people like, she's a black woman, you better vote for her. Vote for her because she's a black woman. That's one of the reasons I voted for her. I voted for Obama because he was black. I voted for Clinton because I felt she was a superior candidate over Trump. I'd have voted for last year on King Kong over Trump. And then and I voted for Biden, and I voted for Kamala. And if Kamala run again, I'll vote for her. But you all got to stop that putting your gender, the black woman stuff, ahead of everything. When I looked at Kamala's campaign at her rallies, you know they had the people sitting behind them. I never saw a black man. Saw white men, men of color, and no, everyone except the black man. And I said somebody need to tell Kamala Harris she need to put some black men in her backdrop because they already talking about a lot of black men, wasn't for her. They said there was a lot of black men, at her rallies, and they never did. But even Trump had some black Sambo stepping factories back there. Even he had that. He would at least mention black men. Try some kind of way to cater to black men. Some of them fell for it. And it wasn't as many as they thought. Now they're saying the polls was black women voted for, at first they said 90 to 82. But it was black women voted for Kamala, 92% black men, 87%, which is usually normal range. But they made it seem like black men just jumped ship. And in the national election, 5-point difference, that ain't because we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to do everything perfect. No one else does. So that means nine out of every 10 black women voted for Kamala, 8 out of 10 black men. But close to 9 out of 10 black men at 87%. So it wasn't that much different. Of course, there's more black women voters because there's more black women than black men. So when you go by numeral wise, more black women numeral wise voted for Trump than men. More black men percentage wise voted for Trump. It sort of balances itself out. But they made it seem as though black men just abandoned commerce. Even when Biden won, black men, the black women was 94% and black women was 90%. And you know what they did? You know what they said? Biden got up and said he thanked black women for helping him get elected. Said nothing about black men. And people get tired of being taken for granted. Oh, I got my YouTube back on. Hmm. But I had to put up later on YouTube. The people get tired of being taken for granted, and me, I wouldn't care what they said. There's no way I'd have voted for Trump, but everybody's not me. Everybody's not like that. Everybody can't stomach being taken for granted. Everyone can't take it. And see what happens is we need to get these men back working the polls and doing like they used to because women are just not builders. They're not. Let's face it. And don't think because you can come up with a lot of witty stuff. And when they had show you how they're trying to eliminate black men. When they had the Target protest, Al Sharpton and Reverend Jamal Bryant, they were the architects of some of the architects. They went in to negotiate with the CEO of Target. And there was these black women saying, why should they be the one going there and negotiate? I knew they were going to get around to. Why are they going in there? We need somebody else to go in there. They wouldn't worry about them getting it going. And one woman said, when I'm in Target, in the counter, I was sniffing candles. I don't see any men in there. Like she gonna see men in the counter, I was sniffing candles. We need a woman to go. I knew that she was gonna get around to talking about we need a black woman to go in there and show you how ridiculous that is. And why you need men to run this stuff. If you all believe that's correct. You think because you're a customer at a store that gives you the credentials and the knowledge to go in there and negotiate with the CEO of a company because you're a customer? You got the qualifications and the know-how to go in there and negotiate with the CEO of Target because you shop at Target. See how dumb that is? That's why we need men to do that. He won't do it out of emotion. Not what he like and don't like. If I go and I go buy a Cadillac. So I think that entitles me to go and negotiate with the CEO of General Motors because I bought one of his cars. I get ran up out of there, just like she would get ran up out of Target and end up making matters worse. We got to think with our head and not our heart and not our emotion. That's just an example of what I'm talking about. Men built that democratic machine and women are dismantling it. They did. Back to Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams, all you heard of about her in Georgia, black woman, black woman. Those white people and these other people got to vote for her too. They weren't going for black men to vote for her anyway. And I told people, I said, she's not going to get elected. And a lot of people got angry about saying the truth. See, a lot of times when I say stuff, people get angry with me. But what it is, most black people, we're emotional people. White people are more technical people, let's face it. They don't get as emotional as we do about everything. When I say things and state facts, a lot of people get angry and want to argue with me because they think that's how I feel. I was once telling some people might makes right. They try to argue me down. I'm the people who controls the mic gets to say what's right. That's the way it is. But I don't think it should be that way. And you know what? They picked out thought that's how I feel. Then you know the only reason they backed up, I said, but I don't think it should be that way, but that's the only reason after I told them how I feel. That's when they back out because they going off of feelings. And the reason I said like with Stacey Abrams, all they talked about, her a black woman, she's a black woman. And I told them, say, look, they're not gonna elect her. First of all, she's an obese black woman. Just her optics. The white men and many other people not gonna vote for her. The black men gonna vote for her. If I was in Atlanta, if I was down in Georgia, I would vote for her. Because I think Stacey Abrams is a very good candidate. Much better than that Jack Kemp. Because you know why? Usually candidates, black candidates are superior. You find a few of them Republicans, they just kowtow and just to be with the elite crowd and get some money. But those are the black candidates, male or female. They're usually superior candidates. Atlanta. Atlanta was just a little dusty city in Georgia. You know who brought Atlanta up? What's his name? Mayor, the first black mayor of Atlanta. Oh man, what's his name? Maynard Jackson. He built that. The people criticized him. $150 million for an airport, which is because not in today's dollar, it'd probably be in the billions. Now Atlanta is an international city. As a matter of fact, the airport at Atlanta that they say he shouldn't have built is the busiest airport on earth. Busiest airport in the world. But they criticized him for building that airport. And that's what brought Atlanta up. We've had black female mayors in the city where I live. I think they were good candidates. All of our mayors has been, well, I don't know about now, but you didn't hear me say that. But all of our mayors has been because I tell you why. I live in East St. Louis, Illinois. Most of our mayors has taken over a city that's they're climbing out of a hole. Anyone who becomes mayor in this town is climbing out of a hole. And you can't compare them with other mayors of cities that's functional. Because I tell you why. Anytime white people give up something, it's in the decline anyway. That's the reason they left here. They knew the industries was leaving. A white town and similar went through the same things that East St. Louis went through would have folded by now because they have. So don't let them tell us we don't know what we're doing. If East St. Louis was a white town, it would have folded by now. A long time ago. You got white towns went out of business like a ghost town. They couldn't go through what East St. Louis went through. And they have us thinking we don't know what we're doing. People in East St. Louis know what they're doing. You know, oh, they sending the money. Well, prove it. Quit talking about it and prove it. You say that about everyone being in office. I can't say no one's not taking anything, but prove it. If I can't prove it, I'm not going to say it. Don't you know they have their eyes on these books in these black towns? If these people stealing like you say they be in jail, they be more than happy to come here and lock them up. More than happy. Because they like to ruin our ethnic image. We do a good job of it ourselves, but they like to help out also. But back to what I was saying about the voting, you know, the men, we're going to have to get back involved in politics and getting this vote out. We got to stop taking a back seat to women. So, oh, they're going to be for fuss back with them. If they bring you masculine energy, give it back to them. You quit bowing down. Then these women run you and take over everything because it's not working. So men think, I've been to college, I'm the most educated. You're not the most educated. Education is K through 12. College is training. College is just a 4-year trade school where you take on 2 years of extra subjects you're not going to ever use anyway. Many men don't have to go to college because they can get a job and make just as much and more money than a woman with her degree. Women have to have a degree to get a good salary. Men don't. The jobs that men get paid much more. And when the job tradition is that women get don't. So quit letting them turn you against your man because of economics. I make money, I don't need no man. He never did need you except to have his children, but he wanted you. He didn't need you to take care of him unless you got some loser, Pookie Ray Ray. Cause see, I'm tired of you're clowning us on social media all day long. And then let a black man put up something about you. Oh, you bashing black women. You've been doing. You got some women I have to sometimes just unfriend them. That's all they do all day long. If they're not talking against black men, they're not posting. Now we're not even men no more with these N words. Then put a picture of a white man. If you notice, black women, well, no need to get mad. Well, I'm about to say the truth. You can get because you don't like it, don't mean it's not true. And I'm talking about what the women doing because I'm a man. We've been hearing about what the women got to say for a long time. Do you ever see women criticizing white men on social media? No, they don't. They'll put up a picture of a white man and talk about how cute and fine he is and how she always had a crush on him. Then find an AI picture of a black man in a dress, throw that up, or with a wig on, throw that up. You never criticize white men. Just stop and think about it. He has to do something to you, and you just angry at what he did, not at him. The only time black men and black women really come together is when we come under physical attack, like they did in Birmingham. When they saw the black woman saw the men was kind of hesitant. They hit some of those white women were kind of hesitant to hit the woman. Those black women came like the cavalry, and they need to show more of that video too. Them black women came and took care of business with those women. Do we have to wait till we come under physical attack to work and fight together? Is that what it takes? If that's what it takes, that may be what God has to do. We got to come under physical attack before we work together. Because nobody else, we don't have any allies. If anything, we got some more white allies than anything against their own. But we can't, we have to depend on ourselves. And we can't do it fraction. Black women just going off after their interests. And then come back to the black man when it benefits them. No one's going to keep going through that. We don't speak to each other, walk by each other, shake heads, look at phones, look straight. That's why I can tell when a black woman wants something from me. She comes up smiling, being nice, and saying something to me. And I'm like, what does she want? And I'm usually right. I've had some speak to me and they look back and say, you wouldn't even say, I didn't even realize she was speaking to me. I'm not used to a black woman speaking to me. I've had some, come up to the building and they car said gonna try to screw me out some money. But I know what they're up to. I've been around too long and been in business too long. They come up all feminine, smiling and nice. I'll do this, run this for you, and that, but then they're gonna try to run out with my money. I just string them along and tell them, no, I don't need any help. I know what they're up to. Anytime they getting all nice and feminine with me, I know they're up to something. Because I'm gonna tell you, say, well, like black women don't know how to be feminine. Oh yes, you do. When you want to try to get over on somebody, you come batting them eyes and smiling and all that, and all feminine. Then, 'cause, even the stud gets feminine when she wants something. I've had studs jump feminine when they come at me and want something. And that's why when you get a lot of the black guys, I know I'm off subject, but it's my platform. I can do that if I want to. Because I think cause we need, reason I'm saying we need to work together. That's the reason I'm bringing this up. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up. Because we I know the women not gonna make it by themselves. You think you can, and we need to start having families. Everyone's talking about because we can't be a. I think it's a joke to me when I hear these guys out here talking about we need to build a strong community. Well, I'm gonna help build a community. You can't even help build a family. Build a family first. Families is what builds strong communities. Not you running out here cleaning up some trash. Let them people clean up their own. I don't clean up trash. You clean up your own trash. I didn't put it down. I'm not getting out to clean up my stuff. And build some families. If you can't have a family with a black woman, have a family with who you can have it with. And go for anyone. If a black woman can't have a family with a black man, have it with who you can have it with. And see, and they say when a lot of black men start making money, he go get a white woman. You stop looking at what he's doing sometimes. Look at why is he doing that? See, when a woman does something, we look for the reason why. When a man does something, oh, he just ain't nothing. If you have black women treating you the way I just said they do, they don't want, you know, you don't really have any kind of relationship with them. Everybody pretending like they don't see each other. Black women treating you like that, and then you go around these other women, they're smiling at you. How you doing? Speaking to you, talking to you. You go in the store, they're smiling. The black woman, even when she say thank you and all, is in a robotic way, disrespectful service. And when those men get in a high economic level, they down them other women treating them all nice. A lot of them not used to that, and they go for it. They said they said 1/3 of the black guys going to college, freshmen in college, say they never dated a black girl before. They said they asked them. I heard someone say this, and I looked it up, and it's true. Because I didn't. Oh no, that can't be true, but it's true. They said, "Don't you like them?" They say, "Yeah." Don't they look good too? They say, "Yeah, they look good." They said, "Well, why come you never dated them?" They said, "They're mean. They're too mean. If we go talk to them nice, and they talk to us mean." And if you think I'm lying, let's look at this. Give you a project. Look at a man and a woman you see together. They're walking and they're talking. Look at their body aim and language. The man is talking in a calm way, and the woman's fussing about something. I guarantee you, that's what you're going to see. Black woman don't talk to a black man, she fuss at him. If they want you to do something, they come fussing about it instead of asking you to do it. They don't do that to me because I don't put up with. I don't be around those type of people. I stopped being around any kind of people a long time ago. That's why you don't see me. People don't see me on Facebook talking about these women, these women. I'm mentioning this because of the platform, but I don't have time to sit around. They'll be telling me, why don't you do the show and relationship? I don't have time for that foolishness. Because you know why? Most of these people talking is middle-aged people. You don't see these young, the really young women, that stuff they put on Facebook, they reposting stuff some middle-aged woman in her 40s and 50s, or even her 30s put up. They put that mess in these young girls. And a man my age, if I'm sitting around here having relationship problems, running around here complaining about, no, women don't treat me right now and stuff like that, it's something wrong with me. I should have it together by now, and I do. If you in your 40s and you still around here talking about dating, what is your problem? You need to find you a mate. What I look like coming up to you talking about this my girlfriend, man my age. You know what dates were? People talking about dating like dates were when people, I'm saying this because we got to grow up. Most black people, men and women, we're still in adolescence when it comes to a lot of things. Dating is when maybe some high school guy, you took somebody to a movie uh, to get something to eat, to the corner, maybe in high school or something. Not just out of high school. That's what dating was. You 50 and still doing that? You supposed to know what you want from a person. That's why if I see a woman, so I can't hardly have just a regular conversation with a black woman because when you say something to them, they think you want them and they won't talk to you. But if I wanted someone, they'll know it because I see it. When you get a certain age, you don't have time to play. What you gonna do at 40? Date for 5 years? People used to just get married. That's why parents used to pick. Parents used to pick the. I know I'm off subject, but the parents used to pick a person's husband, sometimes even wife. Well, a lot of time a man would go to the father. If the father was there, would to older brother and the mother and say, I see your daughter, I like her, and I like to get to know her, maybe have her as my wife. You had to ask for a woman's hand in marriage. But when you have a culture where you don't have no code of conduct, no way of operation, everybody just do how they want to do. And you wonder why it's all messed up. Black society here in the United States, we don't have no rules of operation. Everyone just do what they want to do. We got a dating society, not a marriage society. I know I'm off subject, but the only reason I'm saying this is because I talked about everybody else. We got to get ourselves together. And one of our biggest problems is to disconnect between black men and women. Because I remember when I was coming up, and did anybody come to my house to see my sisters. God said, "Go." She she had this boy to come over. Then after he leave, here come another one. No, that didn't happen. I didn't see my mother having men friends. Man coming to the house to see her. No, the only man friend she had was my father. Didn't have no. He's my friend. No, that didn't happen. Not back then. The men didn't play that. See, the reason is women don't pick men well. I see men talking to women. I don't be eavesdropping. You know how black folks that talk so loud. Nobody have to eavesdrop on you. And he's talking to the woman, and myself and just about every man around can see that's BS he talking to her. I know she's not gonna fall for that. Next thing you know, she giggling and giving him her number. Everybody around can see that's BS, except for her. And it's not just it's women, it's in the whole animal world like that with the females. I'll show you how. If you allow women to choose their own mates, it says that women are only attracted to about 10% of the men in the world. All others, they're really just putting up with it. But see, what happens is now that women are able to choose their own mates, 80% of the children born among black people is like 16 to 18% of the men are having all the babies. They're having them by the same man. The majority of black men don't even have children, and they're not homosexual. And y'all need to quit accusing black men of being homosexual. That can't. White folks, you think you're doing it on your own. The white people said they was going to do that. Because then you know why they started that thing trying to like black men are homosexual? To stop black women, white women from getting with black men. They said they were going to do that. Now, down low stuff, you know where that came from? White, this guy came on Oprah Winfrey because she had all that kind of mess on. Then was Jay King, he wrote a book on how he was married and was a homosexual and messing around with men too. And black women just ran away with it. Then try to accuse every black man of being down low. But most of you are down low. Rubbing all on each other, boobs and butts, dancing, rubbing all on each other, having pajama parties like little girls and girls' night out. Yeah, I'd rather go somewhere with women than men. So don't stop with that down low stuff. But that's where all that come from. White people started that, and black women ran away with anything negative about me and y'all run. Black men you run away with. But look, those numbers I was talking about, the um the black the you the 16 to 18% of men making all the babies. But you know what also happened? Let's say you want to start a horse farm. See, there's always gonna be men with more than one woman. Women, y'all gotta get that in your head. Usually. You start a horse farm. You don't buy 10 male horses with your mares and 10 female horses with your fillies. You buy 10 fillies, one or two mares, and next thing you know, you got a herd. You know why? If you get 10 mares and 10 fillies, you know what's going to happen? Only one or two of those mares is still going to have all the children because the women going to gravitate to it, and the strongest of the mares is going to have all the babies. That's the way it plays out. So when you allow these women choose who they want, they're gonna all go after the same men. And the black woman is just you all just don't choose the better men. You have to quit thinking all that old hood stuff is masculine. And a man who's polished and articulate is a homosexual. You ever noticed that all the black businessmen, preachers, and all are usually get accused of being a homosexual because he's articulate and polished. So, we have to and when a few men making all the babies, then you wonder, why is he a deadbeat? I know I told you this before, a guy I know, he's in his 30s now, but he was 28 at the time. He had 18 children and 10 baby moms. And I've heard he's had some more since then. Those other women knew he had those babies. He can't help but be a deadbeat dad. And according to the statistics put out, these are white folks statistics. I know you'll believe theirs. Black men are the most engaging fathers of all fathers, the best fathers, the ones who are there and allowed to be. I'm not talking about your baby daddy you not letting come around, or the ones you had by that man who you knew already had a family, that married man. I did a baby shower. I usually like doing stuff like that. I took pictures of the baby shower. And you know what they said to me after I was there? The woman, she said her water had broken 2 days ago, but they let her come home, and she may not even have to leave from out of there. Oh, they had that fancy place, and oh, they spent a lot of money and a lot of guests there. She told me, said, don't, don't get any pictures of the groom of the baby dad, don't try to get him on too many. I said, why you don't want him on? Say he's married, he got a wife and a family. And I don't want her to see it. So you women don't mind cheating. You just don't want to be cheated on. You got your man by helping them cheat on someone. But see, we gotta be realistic, and you gotta see. We gotta look at not only why things happen and blame the men. We gotta look at what the women are doing also. And we got to, cause especially these boys, they need a man. And you see, even Jesus himself, when he got a certain age and his mother came to him, she let him know he's not under her no more. He listened to his father, and he told him very harsh words. And but look, the because we had I used to go to this male environment movement while I was helping these people. I would record it for them with just my mic. It was the male environment movement, and their goal was to help these black boys see things from a male perspective, because most of them was just seeing things from the female perspective, and and every so often a woman would come in there. I've seen this happen about 3 times. Why you all just telling them what men got to say? Why don't you have some women up here and let the women tell them something? So, man, this is a male environment. Uh, this is that's what this is for, bringing it from the male perspective. But why is women think they can have their stuff by themselves? As soon as men try to have something, you want to crash. Because I've seen it in a lot of things where the women come through and want to crash with the men adore. We don't crash your stuff, we let you have it. Yeah, those boys need things from a male perspective. Because it's going to be different. It'd be like, okay, here's one analogy I heard. Two boys in the house fighting. The mother come in and see them fight. Boys, cut that out. You don't be. No, they wasn't fighting. Let me see. They were wrestling. Playing, just wrestling. The mother come in, you all cut that out. You're here tossing each other around. You gonna hurt each other. Don't do that to each other. She break it up, make them stop wrestling. Father come in. He see the boys wrestling. He looks over there, tossing each other around. He looks over there. Hey, boys, take that outside. See, he's not gonna make them soft like that. He know they can wrestle with each other. Man, my brothers and I did. We wrestled. And when I got outside, some of the girls in the neighborhood wanted to wrestle. I wrestled with them, but not for the reason they thought. I didn't fall down on purpose so they could, how they call it, pinning you down. Nah, that's a little boy, you know, I let them pin me down. And they be on sitting on top of me, peeing with me peeing down. And they think they won. But they didn't know really I won, if you know what I mean. But look, let me what I was saying. The reason I started talking about us, I had to talk about men and women because these other people are not divided like we are. When I started out talking about how the other people of color, the Africans and all these people are against us, we can't fight this fight by ourselves. And when I say by ourselves, I'm talking about men and women. Mhm. Uh, I can use her as a black woman. I asked her, I was going into Walgreens one day, yesterday. Was it yesterday? The day before yesterday. And I was trying to get there before they closed. I pulled up and this woman pulled up, black woman. She went to the door before I did, but I see her walking by. I said, "Are they closed?" She went and I asked her again. I know she heard. So I said, Are they closed?" I don't know. And she just pulled on the door. So I went up there myself. And that's the kind of response you get from black women all day long. With snarky, nasty stuff. So when he get around another type of woman who treat him right, of course he's gonna go for that. I would too. And so would you women. The difference is, don't get mad, ladies. Black men can get women of other races. You just don't know how they chase after us. As old as I am, I get young white women, Asian women, because I be around them a lot. It comes to talk to me, but you can't have everybody. And like I said, men have more than one woman, but I don't believe in that because of the society that I live in. If I was in Africa, yeah, I have me multiple women. That's what they do over there. Over here is monogamy, and I obey rules. And if I make a see over there, they don't make a commitment to one woman. Over here, you do. If you're gonna make that commitment, hold up to it. But if you're not gonna treat a person right, don't feel bad when they give it to someone else because women of other races know more about black men than black women do. Black women just know the mean stuff you want to say about us. They take classes in college, black male study. All white women and other women, and not one black woman. Oh, we know these are N word. We don't need to take no class. Because you know what you think you know and what you want to know, and all the blame you want to throw. But these other men, they tell you, ladies, they just don't like y'all like that. Or it be more y'all with them. They just want to take you straight to the motel, have sex with you. They talk about y'all like dogs. A lot of black men got to get into it with these men a lot for them talking about black women the way that they do. I know I have. And then the woman come out, won't even speak to me and talking to the very men that I had to get into it with them about. You know what they call black women behind y'all backs? Where's late? Hard probably not know kids listen. Because because I kinky hair, they call black women cactus pussy. That white men, the code word for black women. And them old Latinos try to call black women big booty mamas. And see, we didn't talk against anybody's woman. We would have to straighten them out. Just to have the black woman, then the black woman end up going with them, having sex with them anyway. And they come back to work talking about it. But what can you do? If she gonna mess with them, what can you do? There was one black woman that so many of them white men ran through her and come back and talk about it. Then when you go and try to tell her, those white men, they be talking about you. I don't want to get out and try to hurt her feelings. She didn't mind hurting mine. I was jealous and all that, so I left it alone. They do that. You all don't know what black men go through with a lot of these other men defending your honor. Not really your honor, but the race's honor. Because when they talking against black women, they were actually talking about black people. I'm defending the race, not the woman, to be honest with you. Because the same, I was talking to a woman who I was over at a church getting ready to film a play. I was getting stuff out the truck. And the white guy worked for me. I was riding him with his truck. He was out there talking to this black woman who was in the play. Scraggly looking white guy, bald head. Well, I am too, but he had the ring around and the scraggly looking too, wore the same clothes just about every day. It wasn't dirty, he must have cleaned them every night, but she had that talking to him all up in his face. I was on the other side of the truck. Every time I walked up, she backed up about 8 feet to put distance between. I go back to the truck, she come back up all up in his face. I come out again, she backs up again. She didn't even realize she was doing that. It's ingrained in her. White man can like a hayseed weed. Come on, ladies. He can come around black women and pull anyone he wants. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You say black men give it all these fat, ugly white women. You know that's not true. Black men give it all sizes and all type of women, just like you do with black. Well, most black men got fat black women. Got let's face most black women fat. But most black men got black women, so what's the difference? Fat black women. But the thing is, we gotta we gotta treat each other right, because if we can't treat each other right, we gotta go to who's gonna treat us right. If you, I don't see nothing wrong with a black woman getting with a man of another race if he gonna treat her right, not just get it with just for sex, which most of them want to do. And that's what's gonna way she's gonna make it. More power to her. And I ain't gonna speak against her. Like we get spoken against when we get with another woman of another race. You see on social media, an old man go with a young old black man go with a young black woman. They call him every name you could think of. Nasty. There was one with a 20. He was 68. She was 28. Tell me he's a pedophile. But a 28-year-old woman now, he's a pedophile. Anything to put him down. Because see, the thing is, I've seen white men with young black women like she burned out of her teens. He's like he about 70 years old. You gotta see how the good kind comments he get. But the black man was torn down, especially from the women. Ooh, he's so cute. I mean, no. She say, oh, she finally found age. Uh, love has no age. She finally found her soulmate, true love. Have you ever noticed black women only mention soulmate and true love when it's a white man in the picture, a man of another race, or never when it's a black man? But when the black man had the young black woman, he was nasty, dirty, degenerate, molester. See the difference? You're gonna have to change your attitude towards black men if you think you're gonna make it, because they're not gonna put up with it. Best relationship I ever had with a Chinese woman. She had to go back. Not I'd probably married her. I have to argue with her over little things. If she want me to do something, she asks me. She didn't try to order me to do it. When you see us walking and talking, you didn't see one talking and the other one fussing. And I said, just do that the next time you see a black man and black woman together. You're gonna see. He's talking to her, she's fussing at him. Oh, he must have done it. It's always a must have. But see, men are Objective men is women are subjective. Women want to say, well, men say exactly what happened. Women, well, it must have been this, could have been. They want to speculate all the time, but you don't speculate when it comes to men. If your woman cheat, he must have done something to make her cheat. When a man cheat, he's no good, dirty cheater. Men get money and start dealing with other women. You ever stop to think, well, what are we doing? If they don't want us when they start making money. You all ever stop to think like that? I don't like seeing black men making a lot of money and always going with another type of woman. But he gotta do what he gotta do. But you ever stop to think why? Examine yourselves for a change. If somebody don't want a product, you don't judge the consumer. You judge the product. The man, the consumer, and you the product. I mean, why you don't want your product? Because you see a man a deadbeat. I know I'm in a different subject, but I'm saying this, we gotta get ourselves together. We got some trouble coming our way, and we're gonna have to deal with together. And we're talking about everybody else. Yeah, I done mentioned them already. I can't talk about us because right now we fractionalized. The women on one side, the men on the other. And it's not gonna work like that. And we didn't do it. We think we did it. It was done by design. They told, see, everything white folks do, they tell you before they do it. They say they're gonna make the black man the new homosexual. And they planning, and they said to be their biggest ally is the black woman. They tell everything that they're gonna do. They're trying to get us to work on the farms. They try to force you. We got to work together, and we got to stop them. And see what happens is black men can get a woman anywhere, but the black woman can't get a man, any type of man. They don't like y'all like that. I'm not saying to be mean, but they've said it and they've shown it. Lady used to live by me. She was seeing this Arab. He come pick her up. And she tell me where they going and all. Well, sound like all he doing going to you getting some drinks and y'all going to the motel. Aren't you just jealous? So if you try to give it to me, I wouldn't get it. So how am I jealous? And so then one time she hadn't see it for a while. She would walk by, wouldn't. She used to come and talk about him, wouldn't say nothing. She told me to say, "Well, you're not going out." She said, "I don't see him no more." Then a couple of days later, she finally told me to say, we was coming from the motel, and I told him I love him, and he put me out the car. Told me he don't love me. Love ain't got nothing to do with this. And he drove off, and I haven't seen him since. I didn't criticize her for nothing. I didn't say anything. I said I had already said all I needed to say. Because black women, y'all don't like us. And y'all know it. Because all my white friends who talk with black women, they come back and tell me. And they don't even know each other. And that black women, I always tell them how much she hate black men. We know you do by the way you treat us. I see men in the store. I don't know why they keep putting themselves through it. A woman come in the store or anywhere. They gotta say something to her, and she say all kind of mean stuff to them. And you know why black men put up with a lot of meanness from women? A lot of them was raised by women, and their mothers talked to them like that. They used to being talked to mean and nasty by women, but I'm not. I came up with my mother and father. My mother didn't talk to my father in the kind of way, and I'm not used to women talking to me any kind of way, and I'm not gonna allow it. That's why I don't be. When I see a woman disrespectful, when I see she's got one of the snarky, nasty talk and rude, I just don't deal with her. And when we gonna see each other again, we can't see each other no more. No, but I said, I think I can get to like you. I said, I can't get to like you. I'm talking about some pretty women. I ain't no prince. I know I ain't no Prince Charming, but a man don't have to be. That's another thing. Black women, y'all want y'all men to look better than you. Men supposed to be chosen by his ability to produce, provide, and build. But now, women are more into looks than the men are. You want your man to look better than you. Well, there's no good men out here. There are. This is because of where you start. I gave this example before. When when a white woman or other woman go into the castle or the village, they're looking for a husband, not a date, a relationship. They're looking for a husband. They look at the king, and they just about gonna get him. Looked at the prince, captain of the guards, and I worked their way down. Well, if you start at the top, she's gonna see a good man somewhere. She don't get a good man somewhere. Kind of off center now. How did that happen? I didn't move the camera. I moved my seat. The wrong way. Okay, she gonna get a good man. Somehow she gonna see his good man. Black women, you come in. You looking for who's the cutest and the finest, got the best penis. You come in messing with the court jester or the village idiot. Work your way up. Well, all you gonna see on the way up is lower level men. That's why you say there are no good men. Then, by the time you get to the place where there are some good men, decent men, upwardly mobile men, by the time you climb up to that level, you got a couple babies to put on 60 extra pounds. Now he don't want you. Not no high level productive man. If you notice men, the bigger the wallet, the fatter the wallet, the smaller the woman. Don't let these get old men like beefy women. Don't let them fool you to thinking that you can get whatever kind of man you want because you got a big butt and big hips. High level men don't go for that. Look at the I know I have to use like an athlete a celebrity as an example because you know them. You don't know any other man I might bring up. Which one of these rich guys you see with a big fat woman? A woman with a big balloon, but with a BBL. They don't go for. They have them on their video. So they are So by the time you reach him, he don't want you. And you know how I can prove that? You go for the worst men first. When you like that chaos be fun for a while. But then get this. After you put yourself through all that, you know you don't know what I'm about to say. I'm gonna go get me a good man. Why come you didn't do that in the first place? Now, why come you didn't do that in the first place? No, you don't say I'm gonna go. You say I'm gonna. You think you settling for him? Now, how do you settle? They're like I got an old hoopty Ford. I've been driving all these old hoopties. Then I say I think I'm gonna settle for a Mercedes, brand new Mercedes. How are you settling for something better? You can't settle for better. You settle when you're getting something worse, not when you're getting something better. Not when you're getting something better. I'm not losing my voice. So how are you settling? He would be settling, which he's not going to do. Because when a man reaches a certain level in life, he don't have to settle. You don't have to. You wonder why you're not getting that type of man. Oh, he'll have sex with you. He'll have sex with a BBL. No, but he's not going to marry you. And that's what life is about. Someone you can marry. And I know women be with men 10, 15 years dating. They can't stay married for 3 or 4. And then leave him. Man, when you date people now that you break up, you get nothing. At least if you're married, you get something, can get something to show for it, because you're going to end up with all this stuff anyway. That's why a lot of them don't want to get married. But that's, that, that's clauses by which he can protect himself. Because I've had women try with me. You can leave. Who the hell you think you're talking to? This is my house. You leave. I'm not going nowhere. If you the one mad, don't want to be around me, you go. See, before 1945, if the person got, before all that no-fault divorce that Reagan and all them brought in, if a man and woman got divorced, the woman left with what she came with, and the children went to the man. Didn't know that, did you? That's the way it used to be. That don't seem quite right to me. Just like it's not quite right the other way, where women get everything. Maybe somewhere to meet, it seems like it begin to meet somewhere in the middle, like a pendulum moving back and forward. That's where life mostly is. The next thing you know, it'll stop somewhere in the middle. Because I don't think it's right for the man to get everything. I don't think it's right for the women to get everything. Well, I say right because it's the law. I was giving my personal opinion of the law. I know there's nothing I can do about it. I don't think that's good for either one to get everything. So we're gonna have to get ourselves together because these immigrants, the Africans, I don't even wear these no more. I'm sick of these Jamaicans. I got these here. I'm gonna have to dye them black. I'm gonna have to dye them black. Tired of these old Jamaicans want to talk about us. Let me try this for now. I used to wear these when I had my dreadlocks. I had a big old beard like that and dreadlocks. I started losing. I was thinking about joining dreadlocks because I lost my hair on the top. There's this guy here in my building. He's made this stuff. You ladies might want to like it because you grow your eyebrows out even more. And I start spraying it on and start growing my hair back on the top. But I got to the place that where I still shave because I like it bald. Now it's easy to maintain. Even a lot of guys I know, I tell them about the product and they rather. He said, "Well, I think I used to being bald. Now I can't see what they mean because I was letting it grow back." I said, I think I used to being bald. They got all types of stuff out there now, but this man in my building, his doesn't have harsh chemicals. But see, my eyebrows used to grow right here and stop. Just halfway and stop. And I sprayed on my eyebrows and it brought it out. He said, I used to run a commercial for him. I have to download this commercial again. It's called o, Origin of Horizon. They call it OG products. It's here in this building. It's an Origin of Horizon. You can look it up. And a lot of women buy it because the spray make their hair thick and fuller. A lot of you women that's losing your hair thin out, going bald, try some of it. They help grow it back because I went completely bald on the top and it grew mine. I could let it grow. I just like it like it is now. No, got used to it. And like many of the men have. But go back to the subject. I just want to say, because any product I use that's benefit me, I like to tell other people about it. The people don't have to be paying me. I want to see everybody at their best. Now, like right now, this is Rise coffee I'm drinking right now. This and it's benefited me a lot. I don't get all that gas I used to get. And I would eat and get gas and I'd be all up in the chest, and I don't get that anymore. I sleep good. I mean, it's really good for you. I don't know if it do everything they say it does, but it's helped me out a lot. You can feel the difference after a few days. And they're not paying me. I'm just they're a whole company. I don't even know those folks. I ordered mine, and but any of that mushroom coffee you can get. You can get that the store up there, the home goods store up there now, Fairview Heights. They have some for the people that's in this area that's watching me. They don't have rice, but they got the mushroom coffee with the turkey tail and the Riley and all that other stuff they got in it. Most of them are the same. I have the same benefits. And collagen, I take that collagen peptides. I used to have a thin lips. It made my lips more fuller. I used to have a little flat head. My head got round. My head didn't used to be this round. It did that for me. Taking collagen peptide. I take the powder. There's a lot of stuff that's good for us now. It helps your bones. Some of you have knee problems. Start taking some collagen. Not the powder kind. Not the gummies. I started off taking the gummies and my face broke all out. I had to take a picture where they got me in a magazine. That magazine they got me in a magazine. They came to take the pictures and that sores on my face. The, but then I stopped taking it, started taking the powder. And they said it was just said it was my first thing. See, our bodies produce collagen. Now I'm talking about some of everything tonight. Our body produce collagen and it stopped when we get around 20, 21 years old. And certain things may have not developed all the way. My teeth are whiter. Well, the ones that not that's real. But the 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 and so it helped me out a lot. And anything that helped me, I'm only saying this because I want to see all of us at our best. There's too many of us is getting sick and like myself, I try to tell people I don't like to try to tell people what to eat, but I tell them about what's nutritious because I haven't eaten meat since 2007, maybe before then. And meat just fills you full of cholesterol, especially eggs. If you're gonna eat eggs, don't just eat the egg whites. That cholesterol builds in your arteries, and we want to say it's healthy as much as we can. Go. Too many of our people are obese, fat and obese, and that's bad on your health. It makes you can't get who you really want. So and I mean, they like that rise coffee. It did make me lose a little weight because it curb a lot of stuff that you would normally do, and I really couldn't afford to lose any weight. Last time I was at the doctor, I've always been small. I had my shoes and clothes on. I was 103 pounds, and I've lost weight since then. And I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7" and a half. I'm real thin, but I don't care being thin as long as I'm healthy. The nurses was laughing at me because of my weight, but they were obese. I should have been the one laughing. But don't care about being thin as long as you're healthy. I'm not. I'll be. Oh, you sick? No, I'm not sick. But you know how black folks are. You white folks, you lose weight. I see you lost weight. You looking good. Black folks see you lose weight. I see you lost weight. Are you sick? And most black folks don't lose weight until we get sick. You should call salads and health food, sick folk food, because black folks just start trying to eat healthy after you got sick. And quit thinking the doctor medicine gonna cure you. You can still eat that stuff that made you sick in the first place. As long as you take this medicine the doctor gave you, everything gonna be okay. You have to have a diet change. I'm saying this right now for us, cause I didn't talk about everybody else. But we're not too healthy now. We can still beat up everybody, but we're not too healthy. And another thing, let me get back to our subject. You know, they were saying talking about race war, like South Africans talking about want a war with black Americans. Nobody want no war with us. White folks don't even want it. They know we not them black folks from back then. I'm gonna get back on the subject now, cause I'll tell you why. You know, every time somebody talk about starting a war with us, fighting us, you know they don't ever touch none of us. What do? They go and kill one of their family members or kill a white person. Oh, I meant to start a race war. All the power boys, kill a black person that we know of. That's all I can talk about that we know of. But they just recently heard white a white boy cut his father's head off and put it all over social media, sat down, put it in a chair, and he sat down on social media with his father's head, saying his father betrayed the race. And he cut his father's head off to start a race war. Like we supposed to care? He wasn't black. What we gonna start a race war over his daddy for? He didn't care nothing about his daddy. Why should we care? You had others. Killed another white guy killed his mother and father to start a race war. Only one person killed some black people. You know, the guy in the church, died on the roof, killed the 9 black people in the church, but that wasn't no pattern because they know they better not get kept up. That happened again. Black folks know, oh, we gotta do something about this. But they made sure they tried him quick and gave him the death penalty. Now, unless Trump try to pardon him, it's gonna be a problem, serious problem. If he's under he may have been under hate crime on the federal charges. I don't know what he's under for the most. It might be I don't know if it's but maybe well, I was looking at something that was changed. Yeah, the we don't want to them to try to fix this. Yeah, make that a habit of trying to kill a black person, try to raise war. It is gonna be one to keep it up, and they don't want that smoke. And I'll tell you why. If you notice, they don't come after us. You know why? The black people now, they don't know what to expect from us. We haven't been battle tested. When they say, oh, boys, a whole lot of them got together. How many people you know of who had overwhelming force and still couldn't win? Still couldn't win. Then you got other people on our corner too. You got a lot of white people in our corner. We can't just depend on other people, but if they help, fine. We gotta be ready. But they don't want that smoke from us. You see, anytime any of them do come at us physically, who wins? Even when a big, beefy guy, muscular guy, come at a little small black guy like me, who usually wins? He figure, cause he big, he gonna win. Well, I know he lose to me, cause I don't do no hand fighting. No more. I ain't got too old for that. I know when I used to be in school, in a fight, boy, my eye swollen, my blood coming out my nose, jaw swollen, lip busted. And they come in me, ooh, Duncan, you won. Won. I sure didn't feel like I won. Yeah, but you messed him up more. But that didn't make me feel any better. So now I don't do no hand fights. I know I'm gonna win. I don't know if I'm gonna win in court or not, but I know I'm gonna win that right then and there. But they don't want that smoke from us. They don't want it. And if they bring it, we're gonna have to deal with it. We're gonna sit back. Cause see, we used to have the courts and all that in our favor. We don't have that no more. We got to deal with our own problems. And that's why we don't need to be dealing with these other folks' problems. I'm not dealing with no Haitian, Jamaican, Cuban, no Latino, none of their problems because they all clown us. And some of them still doing it, asking while asking for our help. If you want to help them, fine. I'm not doing a thing for them. And I go for the Africans too. Them Africans come over and hate us. That's why I don't want to take a chance on. I've talked about it first. I got to go back on what I said. I wouldn't take a chance going on over there. This is our country. We help with the founders. They down. Some people stop calling us African Americans. They calling us foundational Black Americans because we help with the foundation of this nation. Jesse Jackson coined the term African American, which was due at that time, but we evolved from that. So we was in the foundation of this nation, helping to build. We didn't come here just to get in on the fat of the land. So don't those Africans and Jamaicans come over here with that. If y'all decide to jump over there on that little island, that's your problem, not ours. You could have came here. When you have your reggae concert, how many Jamaicans you see come there? They don't want to be bothered with us. When we have our events, even celebrating African events, and how many Africans you see come to our events? How many Latinos? But y'all got Cinco de Mayo packed and full. More of you there than that Juneteenth or at Kwanzaa. They don't come to our stuff. Do they come to our stores? Do they patronize with us? They women wear hair extensions. Do they come to the black woman and get some hair? Because it be that same type of hair. They can get that type of hair up in the black woman's store. Do they come here to black woman nail technician to do their nails? No, they don't. I remember when they used to have the Missouri Black Expo. It was a big event. Oh, it was really nice. They have speakers to come. But look, you didn't see those other people up in there. They could have came. You saw more white people up in there than people of color or Africans. They didn't come to our stuff. And you all can keep on trying to be buddies with them if you want to, but I'm not. That's why I said I gave my cap, so I'm down. I don't want to get rid of them. It costs too much. I'm down. See about dying them black when the winter comes. But this one I can wear in the summer because it's got these holes in it. Yeah, see that? But I'm not gonna wear it in summer because it's been too hot lately. This has been a very hot summer. But look, we can't keep continue trying to be everybody's friend, everybody's buddy, and they want to treat us like trash. Come to our country, and this is our country, because the Jamaicans said, "You don't have a country." Yes, I do. It's called the United States of America. That's just like saying the white folks helped to build this, and this not their country. You're not saying it to them. So we helped build this house. It's not our country. We're far removed from Africa. The white folks who live here far removed from Europe. And black people was in here before slavery started, was to get come to this country. I looked it up. Some that came here, traded, became teachers with the Indians and all. But see, you don't hear about all of that. You have to find that for yourself. I better get ready to go because I've been sleeping. I didn't realize it was late and I've been talking this long. I get sleepy, I start looking drunk and rambling. I'm doing it anyway. But I start repeating myself. Now, I may be doing that already also. But look, I just want to say that no, and I don't want black women to think I'm just talking about them. Because I tell you, I talked about black men too. Matter of fact, the other night, that's what I was talking about. I evens it out. And black men, y'all stop being little weasels. That needs women to run you. But but we gotta get those things straightened out because everybody got problems, men and women. And when black people quit letting you think because we don't do everything perfect, that we deserve everything that comes our way. No one does everything perfect. First thing they want to tell you, black people so they people no, they so people who are different ethnic groups and different nationality from them who they were at war with. Black people on the slave, how many? So what? What they got to do with white people having slaves? There's always going to be some of your people who help when you, when there's atrocity or genocide against you. There's always going to be some of your people who are collaborators. Not just black people, any people. And I'm going to tell you all this, but like I told you about the Jews before. No one say talk against the Holocaust when the Jews mention the Holocaust. There were Jews who were Nazis. There was over close to 300,000 Jews in the Nazi army. So does that mean that the Holocaust was okay because some Jews participated? But they'll say that about black people. I'm gonna get ready to end this, and I thank you all for watching. And hopefully, I get some of my guests in and get my Roku channel and fixing the website, and we can I can stay more on point and more on subject. Because when I got guests, I have certain narrative, and I have them to stick to that narrative. And so when it's just me by myself, I talk about all kinds of stuff. But I try to tie it all back into what I'm saying. Because when I was talking about the black men and black women, see, we got to get ourselves together so we can work together. So when things do come our way, get our voting machine back that black men built. Get that Democratic voting block. To you people who said the Democrats and Republicans are the same, if you don't see any difference by now, and you just stay out of the process. Just keep on like you're doing. Don't vote. Don't try to stop people who want to vote and tell them that because you're stupid enough that you can't see the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. I don't even got no conversation for you. And with that, I think I better call it a night because I'm beginning to get a little sleepy. So, thank you for tuning in, and I didn't even play my commercial. Remember, I didn't even put up my cash app. Yeah, well, I'm gonna wait till I start bringing my guest in and do that. But thank you for tuning in. I'm Larry Duncan-Allen. This has been No More Water Fire next time. And hate my people on YouTube. I think that crashed. Never did that before. I'm glad to see what happened. But thank you for tuning in, and guess I'll see you next time.